Hey Spuddies, Potato McWhiskey here, and welcome to Let's Play Persia, the how to beat Prince game. Now this is going to be, again, a tutorial game. There's no mods, we're just running DLC. There's nothing special about this game, it's just a completely vanilla experience with a bit of stuff added. So we have a few decisions here to make this turn. We just unlocked foreign trade, and we're now working on early empire. And we have a scout over here that's in a little bit of trouble. Now, probably the best thing to do is to run 1 to 2 tiles over here to the silver. We could run 3 tiles, but there might be another enemy unit in the fog here ready to kill us. So what we're going to do instead is we're going to move 2 tiles away from this warrior, and then we're going to use our promotion. And what the terrain of the map generally is going to inform our decision, but I like to pick up the faster movement in hills. And when we pick that up, he's going to get 50 health, which is going to keep him going and exploring the map. Okay, we have here a scout again, and we're going to cross this river because we want to get a bit of an exploration up over here. There's another barbarian encampment over here, so we have to be very, very careful about the level of barbarians that we're dealing with right now. So this slinger is ready to upgrade too. So something I'm going to do is I'm going to wait one more turn before I upgrade it, because this guy should attack again and then I'll get the upgrade. So I'm going to keep him fortified. And now this builder has done 2 things. So he has 1 more build charge left, but I don't really want to use him up because I don't want to just build a farm. I don't think farms are very efficient outside of certain circumstances, so I'm going to just avoid it. Besides, we have a forest. We can't really make, like, we can't, if we look at our tiles with this manage citizens button, if we were to build a farm here, this would go to 3 food. Okay, that doesn't really help us. If we built a farm here, it would be just as good as this forest tile, so there's really no reason to improve any of these tiles right now, so I'm just not going to do it. And similarly, the only tile that makes sense to improve right now is the sheep, because it's the only tile that I'm working that isn't improved, and that I can improve. So I'm going to go to next turn. And I do have a unit with a promotion, but I don't want to use that yet. And now is the time to use it. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to use this, and I'm going to take volley. Boom. I'm going to give him 50 health, and he's going to be stronger. And then I'm going to attack here with this warrior to soften up this warrior. And we're going to go to next turn. We still have 4 citizens in here, so I'm just going to hide this guy in the city and put him to sleep until I need him. This guy is now on the sheep, which is going to bring this up and improve it. So we're going to improve it. Boom. And that is the 3rd tile improvement that we've done, which is going to give us an inspiration for craftsmanship, which is really nice. Which is actually what we're going to switch to now, because we are building a lot of units. And this has the Agog, which gives us military unit production. We're doing a little bit of scouting. See, this guy came at us again, but because we were smart and had our unit well positioned, it wasn't an issue for us. We have a lot of room to expand on this game, but I'm not going to expand too much because I think managing a big empire as a new player will be challenging, and I don't want to like foist that responsibility on you just yet. There's a lot of units over here that I have to deal with, so I'm going to keep doing this. So we just built another unit, and that means we have some decisions. Namely, what do we do with our production? We could really use a granary at some point in the city. We would like a holy site. If we look up here in the Great People, nobody is really making Great People yet, but they will be soon. So we could go for a monument, that would be good for our culture. A granary, that would be good for our growth and housing. We could go for a settler, that would be good for our empire in general. We could get another builder. That builder doesn't seem like a very good choice to me. We could get a trader and start trading with this guy. But Kabul wants us to... we could start trading with Kabul. That wouldn't be a terrible plan. We could get another scout. I think 2 to 3 scouts for an entire game is about enough. We could get another warrior, or we could get another slinger. And we're probably going to get more slingers, because if we look down here in the technology tree, we're about to get archery, right? We're going to get archery fairly soon in the tech tree. But if we go down here, there's a boost here for machinery, which is own 3 archers. So by building more slingers, we get science later. So that's something we're going to consider, is building more slingers. And I think we will do that. For me right now, it's a toss-up between the monument, the granary, the holy site, a settler, slingers, and traders. Those are the best decisions. And I think the one that appeals to me is actually a trader. Trader, slinger, and one of these two. But I think the sheer, we've got 1, 2, 3 encampments. I think we just need more units to defend ourselves. And that's also why we went for the craftsmanship, because this has the production for melee and ranged units. And we just finished the technology, so we're going to want to advance along here. Now we're probably going to want to pick up an encampment pretty early in this game, so I'm going to go for bronze working. Even though I have a boost for riding, I'm going to put a few turns into this. I know for a fact I'm going to kill 3 barbarians, so I don't mind starting this, because I know I'm going to get this boost. Similarly, this builder doesn't really have much left to do, so I'm just going to put him asleep for a little while. You're going to fortify here. We're going to keep scouting with this scout. I want to actually unlock this terrain, because sometimes there might be resources that changes how you place your cities. You can kind of skip them if you're in a multiplayer game and you're trying to scout really efficiently. We did just lose a slinger because I mismanaged my units slightly, but that's not a huge deal. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. There was no way I would know that there was going to be a slinger coming around here to shoot me. There's just nothing I could do about it. So similarly with this builder, again, if we go into our city, we're not working any of these tiles, so there's no point to improve them. And plus, 4 turns after we get this this citizen, in 3 turns until we grow, we're going to get a new tile to work. And if we look at the yields of this tile, it's a 1-3 tile, which is far better than any tile that we can make by improving them. So there's no point in improving our tiles. We're going to save our builder charges for when we need them. And we just met the United Kingdom, and it's an honor to meet them. We would love to sample your hospitality, which usually tells us where their capital city is. Something else we're going to want to do is see if we can send delegations. Usually you want to do this earlier. I kind of forgot to do it, which means he's upset with me now. So usually on the turn you meet an AI, you're going to want to send a delegation just to get a better knowledge of them and build a relationship with them. Keep them from getting too angry with you and declaring war on you if you're trying to avoid war. So we just found another barbarian encampment. There's a lot of them around here. It's going to be the end of the turn. So I'm going to have to build 3 slingers total. And I should be able to get a kill here. And there's our bronze working knowledge. And I've got another encampment over here to start dealing with, so I'm going to send some slingers over there. I would like to build the holy site and the granary. Those are things I would really like to do, but I just don't have the time to do them because of the situation that I'm in. I would also like to start trading with London. And that's something I'm definitely considering doing, is building a trader to trade with London. But I also just need more slingers, because I'm in a bad position. I'll send my warriors over there. Keep scouting with this scout. We just found a Stockholm city-state. We weren't the first to meet them, so we didn't get the +1 envoy that you start with. But we did meet them relatively early in the game, which means we can make decisions around their existence. Do we want to go for science? I think we're going to go for a military game, just so I can show you guys some of the things you can do. And something to keep in mind here is this stuff over here is really important to keep a track of, because it's gonna inform you about things you can do or things that have happened. For example, these guys, we just met Stockholm, so now we can right click to get rid of that. And then we have a new city-state quest, which is they want me to trigger an inspiration for early empire. So once I get 6 population, I'm going to get an envoy with them, and I'm going to get the inspiration. So that's something I'm going to want to keep in mind. We also have a warrior unit with an upgrade, but because he has no movement, we don't want to upgrade him this turn. But that's perfectly fine. We'll go next turn. So this spearman just attacked our warrior, which is actually good for us. And then we're going to attack with our warrior to work on clearing this out. We're going to grab our slinger, and we want him to start making his way over to this barbarian encampment. This warrior is really low on health, so it's time to take the promotion, and we're going to take Battle Cry, because most of the units you're going to fight in the early game against barbarians are going to be melee and ranged units, so I'm going to take Battle Cry. And then we have the Scout. The Scout's going to continue to explore. So they have a settler route already, which is a pretty good thing to do in the early game, but we're going for a sort of different style. I think we're going to go more heavily into military units to control the land and be militarily more aggressive, because I would like to attack people. That's the goal here. That's why we're going for bronze working, is so we can build an encampment. This is really bad. This guy just took a bunch of damage. So we're going to want to level him up with Battle Cry. That'll heal him up and give him defense. We're going to keep exploring with this scout. And we just found our third city-state. We found Palanku. Or Palanki, I don't know how to say it. But these are people we're going to want to have a think about what we do with them. Again, the existence of two scientific city-states is going to change how we play. So here we found another barbarian spearman. We're going to want to deal with that. Move this guy across. And this scout can move along hills pretty quickly. So we're going to want to try to stick to the terrain he's quick on. Next turn, Slinger is coming out, which is good. We are working 5 tiles now in Pasarga Day, so we could build a farm here. But we are going to expand to this tile pretty soon, so I don't mind skipping it. I'm going to pick up this military tradition and 50 gold. We could use this gold to start thinking about maybe purchasing stuff. I could purchase a trader, for example. Start trading with London. I could purchase a granary, for example. Start growing faster. Those are pretty acceptable things. And in fact, I think I will grab a granary to grow a little bit faster. And I think I will build a farm here now because I want to grow my city that little bit quicker. I'm going to lock that tile in. So now we're growing in 8 turns. So those 2 things, we just shaved off 4 turns off our growth, which means we're going to hit that 6 population very much with a lot of time left on early empire to start building settlers with. But we do have no more gold left now. That's the only downside of that. We've got 3 turns until craftsmanship finishes. And so I think at this time, it might be a good idea to go for that holy site. The question is, where do we put it? We could put it here, and that would be an okay place to put it. I would like the holy site, but I have an encampment coming up, and I'm going to want that as well, so I don't have the time to build a holy site anymore. So that opportunity has been lost for the short term. I might be able to pick one up later, but for now, it's not an option. We're going to want to go here. Generally speaking, you want to avoid marsh tiles if you can, because you're very weak in marsh tiles, your units are. I don't think this unit's going to make it over here to help, but I think I will send it over here just for the sake of it. It'll take it 5 turns to get over there. Go here. Excellent. I want to go there because it's more defensive. We have another scout. Up here onto the hill. Unit needs orders. We have another scout. This is our main scout. Looks like we found Norway. And we're going to want to kill these guys, but we're going to want to time our killing of them more favorably for ourselves, because it looks like they're dealing with barbarians too. And now this was a calculated risk I made. I knew there was a chance this warrior would die. I didn't have to take this risk, but now I can just go over here and this guy won't be able to make it around to kill him, and then I can bring this guy back to my city to heal. Can move up into this hill for the defense to push into this slinger or this spearman. It looks like this spearman came into the forest to attack my my slinger, so I think I'm going to hit him to lower his health, which means he will do less damage. And I can always retreat in a bunch of directions. I can always retreat to here and then cross the river. So So I feel relatively safe with this positioning. I can steal this kill. Get a little bit of experience on my guy. Yeah, I mean, generally speaking, you don't want to do that because it was more annoying to him if I left it there. But, you know, sometimes stealing a kill is a good thing to do. It's just all about keeping in mind what you should be doing and what your goals are for your civilization. So it looks like this scout came over here and the spearman went to deal with him and he left the barbarian camp wide open for me to steal. I get plus 50 gold. Similarly over here, this warrior can attack this spearman and do a pretty decent chunk of damage. We'll keep moving this slinger over. I would still like to get a kill with a slinger unit because that will give me a boost for archery. We're about to finish bronze working, which means we can actually finish making units. Now, had I gone for craftsmanship, might have been the better thing to go for, because it would have opened me up for, I could have maybe been more efficient by slotting in Agog, but I think we've hit this point pretty in a reasonable timing. Now we have one turn until we're going to want to start building our encampment. We also need to buy a tile to place that encampment. I'll explain that when we get there. So for now, I think it's perfectly acceptable to start work on a settler. And if I look around, I have 1, 2, 3 slingers, which is the number I wanted. 3 slingers, 2 warriors is about the size of army you're going to want in the early game. If you're relatively new to the game, as you start getting more experienced, maybe you get more units or less units. And it's all about just making decisions around what your goals are in the early game. That's the sort of stuff you'll pick up as you play more. Okay, so we finished bronze working, which opens up the ability to build the encampment, spearmen. It also unlocks iron on the world map, and it also allows us to chop rainforests. It also lets us build the barracks, and we'll explain more of this in a moment. And we also have Ilkum, which is plus 30% production towards builders. We have Agog, which is plus 50% production towards ancient and classical era melee and range units. Now we're not going to be building those things. I think we're going to stick with what we have right now as a baseline. This unit can make its way to Pascarde. This unit can keep scooching over here. I want to shoot this because I do want to get a kill with my slinger, if you remember. Move the slinger over. I'm going to heal up this barbarian or this warrior because I'm afraid of getting another barbarian to spawn. Okay, so we just finished iron or bronze working, which means we have some decisions to make. Now we do have a boost for riding, so I think I'm going to pick up riding while I wait for other stuff to do to appear. Unit needs orders. I have a slinger here, so I'm going to put him on skip turn because I'm moving him this way. Also have a scout. I'm going to do a little bit more scouting, and I'll skip my turn here because I want to cross the river. I'm also going to keep scouting up this way. Generally speaking, you want to send your scouts in different directions, or like I could have brought my scout back around here to scout, but I know there's a scout over here to scout this, so I sent my scout off this way. Next turn. It looks like this spearman attacked my my slinger, which means we can finally get a kill with our slinger, which gives us the boost to archery, which is something we were hoping to pick up. Okay. So let's have a look at this city. We're going to want to build an encampment, but we can't build the encampment right beside the city. It has to be built away from the city a little bit. Now, where we build the encampment kind of matters, but it doesn't because we're not threatened. So I think I'm going to stick the encampment down over here. This is as good a place as any. It's right near a horse. Anywhere, and since we need to purchase this tile, sadly, but we will build the encampment. So what is the mission of Palanque? They want to trigger me to trigger an inspiration for mysticism, which is something I can do. Wait a turn. And now we're just spreading out our units to look for barbarian encampments to fight and stuff. Doing a little bit of exploration.
Here the dark
And we
brown
found
amorphous
a
passage
natural wonder. This is the
there
Giant's
red
Causeway.
ochre, and below that again,
And
the
the
slender but
Giant's
distinct
Causeway
lines of the
gives any
woodcove.
land units that stand near it +5 combat strength. So this scout now actually has 15 combat strength. It doesn't update it in the UI for some reason. It's kind of annoying, but it's the way it is. And so now we're working towards early Empire. And look, here we go. This is what I was worried about. Units appearing. Throw an attack here. You should have been inside the city and fortifying until you're healed. Now I have a builder. And if we look, we still are working tiles that are either already improved or can't be further improved. So this is perfectly acceptable to me. So here we have a slinger. I think it's perfectly acceptable to send this guy over here just to explore this little bit of territory and maybe see if we can chase down this scout. But we're also going to want to bring these guys back to upgrade them fairly soon. Looks like we found a dead end, which is fine. It just means we have to go all the way back around. It's a slightly less efficient scouting pattern, but it's fine. We just got attacked by a scout. It's okay. I think it's probably a good idea to see if we can squeeze out a little bit more experience from these units, and we'll attack here and here. Oh, and we found a goody hut over there. We're going to want to pick that up at some point. I think it's about time we started bringing our units back to be upgraded and stuff like that. And keep an eye out for new barbarian encampments. We found a tribal village over here. There's a unit with a promotion. Next turn, you'll have to give you that, I think. We'll scout up this way a little bit, and then we'll end your turn. And since this is a pretty far trek, we're just going to set you on a long trip. There is a button where if you get tired of manually micromanaging your scouts, you can set them to auto-explore, and that's perfectly acceptable. I do it all the time when I get lazy. You tread on dangerous waters in the face of England and her loyal colonies. I don't know why she's upset with me. I don't know what I've done.
Writing is easy. All you have to do.
So it looks like a new barbarian encampment appeared down here, so we're going to work on clearing that out. This warrior will eventually be sent over there. Important things to keep in mind is make sure if a barbarian encampment is within 6 tiles of a horseman, it means it can spawn horsemen. So we just picked up now riding, and we have archery and we have horseback riding. So we're going to push towards those. We have a slinger here. I think actually what we're going to do is we're going to just go for archery. We get a slinger, we move him 1 tile, and then we upgrade him. And most of the units we're going to be fighting in the early game are going to be land units, so we're not going to take the second upgrade. On one of your slingers you are going to want to take the upgrade and use them as a garrison. That's typically only for higher difficulties. For prints and stuff, you're not going to worry about it too much. So here's our slinger, and I think this one was heading on over to deal with this barbarian encampment. While this guy was making his way back to the city, the scout was scouting. See if we can't pick up some more good stuff. 2 turns until we get the boost for early empire, which lines up the timing really nicely for us to start producing settlers really efficiently. And there is the scout that we want to deal with. You make your way over there, and you cross the river here. The question is, do I have enough gold to purchase perhaps a trader? No, we're quite a bit away from purchasing a trader. Next turn. Okay, looks like we got the progress towards early empire. That means our city grew to population 6. Let's get a shot off here. And so the way I moved here, I should explain it. I moved this unit here so that if the scout ran here, I could hit him. And then I moved my warrior back over here if the scout moves this way, he'll get controlled by my warrior. So the way I moved here is very relevant. I'm corralling the scout essentially. You head back over there, and you're going to want to just uncover that little bit of land over there. That's something we're going to want to worry about as this barbarian horseman, horse archer. 2 turns until his encampment finishes. Encampments are very useful for mainly unit production. So we're just quickly checking these menus for mental recognition. We just finished archery, which means we can start purchase upgrading our archers. So if we look down here, there's an upgrade button, upgrade it to archer, boom. And if we look at the statistics difference, the archer has 15 melee strength and 25 range strength, when you compare that to the slinger, who has 5 melee strength and 15 range strength. So there's a significant upgrade when you upgrade your units. Move there, move back. And so this warrior is fully healed, so I can start sending him over to deal with this. We start choosing our research. So we have a few researches left in this era. So let's have a little bit of a think about what we do next. We just finished archery. So let's have a look at sailing. Do we have any luxury resources on the coast that we need to unlock? Well, no. So we can skip sailing for now. And you can tell if it's a luxury, by the way. Normal resources will have yellow on the edges of our background, and luxuries will have purple. So if you look here, red is a strategic, yellow is a bonus, and purple is a luxury. And since there's no luxuries over here, I don't need sailing right now. I don't need boats. I don't have any coastal cities. How about irrigation? Well, similarly, I don't have any resources that take irrigation. I mean, sure, there's citrus over here, but I don't have that citrus yet. I don't have to worry about it. Yeah, so later on down the road, sure, maybe I'll pick up irrigation, but I don't need it right now. I don't have any marsh to clear. I'm not really tempted by the hanging gardens. So what's next? Well, we could start working on maybe currency or horseback riding. But even then, maybe we need to start thinking further into the future, like ironworking. We could start building our immortals in a few turns. How many turns is it going to take us to build these things? Let's get working on, how about we get working on our immortals? Because that means it's going to be our special unit that we're going to use to kill these guys. Move there and then end your turn. Next turn, there is a unit with a promotion over here, but he's going to get upgraded to an archer first before he gets promoted. Unit needs orders. We have a scout. Move the scout around a little bit. Next turn. 3 turns until early empire, and the early empire timing is really, really important. And I'm going to explain that when we get there. Okay, we just got our progress towards state workforce and military training. And so if I go over here, that was state workforce, which was building a district, and then military training was building an encampment. So we're going to move into Pascarde, and we're going to rest 1 turn. And then you're going to get upgraded too. You're going to swap tiles with this guy. When units are adjacent and you tell them to move into the other guy's tile, they'll swap. And then the slinger is going to get upgraded too. So now we have 3 archers, which are really powerful early game units for defense and offense. Mostly defense. You do have to keep in mind though, they do use up money, but they're much stronger than slingers because they shoot from 2 tiles away. So here's an issue we have. We have 40 gold and 3 gold per turn. We're not going to be able to support many immortals. So what we're going to do is we're going to change our goal and go for currency. Because we need to get some money. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to pick up a trader to get the boost for the currency. Unit needs orders. I do have a warrior over here. I want to get him. Your units regenerate health faster inside your lands, so if they're not too far away from your lands, it's usually worth it to bring them home. Slinger is available for promotion. We just did a city-state quest, so now we have 2 envoys with Kabul, which is really nice. And we can go next turn. Looks like Kabul has a slinger over here, for God knows why. The slinger's doing the world trip. Move up here. Move this archer along. Move you along. And the reason I'm not healing the archer is because it has a promotion. Think of a promotion like stored health. Is one of the ways to think of it. We're just moving our units along. So that generally I'm thinking about killing this to use up some turns with my units so they're not wasting time. In fact, I think I'll only send an archer and a slinger, or an archer and a warrior, and then I'll keep these guys in position over here. So coming up next here, we just did Early Empire, so we're going to want to have a little bit of a think here. We definitely want to produce settlers. So we're going to put in the plus 50% production towards settlers, and then we're going to confirm. And once this this trader is done, we're going to build a settler. So let's have a look here. So the next thing we're going to want is probably pick up state workforce, because it's on the way to political philosophy, which is the first major upgrade in the game to get our improved governments. But I think that's going to end this episode. I want to thank you very much for watching this sort of How to Beat Prince playthrough. I think make sure if you want to see more episodes of this series or any other series that I do, please subscribe to the channel. If you want to directly support my channel, please leave a like. And if you have questions about this video, or you have questions about this series, or questions about Civ, or any sort of thing you want to say to me, please leave a comment too. Other than that, I want to thank you very much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye bye.